between Spurgeon and Stahl, and I think I'll take Stahl, and he'll be a first-line center for us, for sure. I think I'll take the consensus number 1, Joel Aginla, Jerome Aginla's kid. I'm going to call this Jerome Aginla's kid. Aginla, welcome to the squad. He's an 84 medium elite. Let's go. This is exactly what we need, this kind of player right here. Braden Point for 8x8, and we have ourselves a first-line center, ladies and gentlemen. Brock Besser! Brock Besser! Welcome to Honolulu! Welcome to the Honolulu Hammerheads, Brock Besser! Let's go! There, yeah, we're gonna go up and take the Swedish offensive defenseman, Johan Edler, right-handed, 5'11", 181. Welcome to the Honolulu Hammerheads. We need a top defenseman. We're gonna go get ourselves a top defenseman, accept the trade. We have acquired Rasmus Dahlin, taking on the Chicago Blackhawks in round number 1. And after that, Brock Besser scores! Besser scores, boy! Here in round number 2 of the playoffs, up against the Calgary Flames. But Aginla is gonna stay red hot, boys! Here in the Western Conference Finals against the St. Louis Blues. It's been immense. Come on, can we get a power play goal? Get the insurance marker, and Aginla's gonna get the hat trick. He's gonna single-handedly carry us. Get into it, boys. We've got game number 1 against Washington in the Stanley Cup Final. Johan Edler. Oh my. And as our captain, Braden Point's gonna lift the cup. See you guys in NHL 21. How's it going, everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. I am Rybred. We are back with NHL 21, and the Honolulu Hammerheads have returned, ladies and gentlemen. What you just watched was an intro, a recap of our NHL 20, just everything that happened, everything we did. And we're going to bring them back. You guys asked for it. You guys wanted to see an expansion a draft mode and the Honolulu Hammerheads to return. And I was like, you know what? It makes too much sense. So like I said in some of my older videos, is I'm going to do things a little bit different this year. So in our franchise modes, we are going to be playing games. Not this one, obviously, because there's no games. We need to build a roster, first of all. But we'll be playing games. I'll be simming the days in between the games that I choose. And we'll get a couple games in every season. Won't change too much, but it should be pretty fun. You guys get to see the jerseys. We get to, make some storylines, see what players look like. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. You guys have been awesome with the support. Make sure to leave a like if you guys think you're going to enjoy this one. I also have a Discord down in the description. I've been having a lot of fun talking to you guys there. NHL 21 is very, very exciting, and I'm ready to bring you guys a ton of content. So we are here at the expansion draft, and the reason I'm doing my expansion draft team before I upload my regular NHL team is because I'm waiting for those real-life rosters to come out. Maybe on day 1 of the game they'll come out. But for now, we'll have the opportunity, I think, to select Lafreniere if we do win the draft lottery. I'm pretty sure it's all those guys like Lafreniere, Byfield, all them are in the first draft. So let's go, boys. And Buffalo jumps from 8 to 1. The Rangers go from 11 to 3, and we're going to drop from 3 to 5. So Buffalo is going to win the lottery. Detroit drops 1. Ottawa drops 2. So it's Ottawa sandwiching us. Wow, Buffalo, man, I you know what? I like to see my Buffalo Sabres. Shout out to Buffalo. I am a fan of the Sabres, but we've got the expansion draft coming up first. So let's go ahead, get into it, and see which player we're going to take from each team. So from the Anaheim Ducks, it's looking like I want to take Danton Heinen here. He's just pretty solid. He's their best prospect too. So we're going to take Danton Heinen. Next up, we got the Arizona Coyotes. From the Arizona Coyotes, I'm taking Antti Ranta, 85 overall goalie. He's signed for, I forgot how much more time. You got to subtract 1 from these. So he's signed for 1 more year at 4.25. I think that's great. Next up is Boston. Jake DeBrusk is available, and I think I'm going to go after him. I mean, he's 82, 23. I'd sign him to his own contract, whatever he wants. He just kind of makes the most sense to me. A guy like Nick Ritchie could be good, but 82 overall, DeBrusk, to whatever contract I decide. Maybe Kasha would be the move then instead, because they're both pretty comparable, right? But I think I'm going to take DeBrusk, a guy that I usually don't get to see. Charlie Coyle's contract is a little too expensive for me, so Jake DeBrusk from the Boston Bruins. From Buffalo, there's really only one option, and that's Marcus Johansson. They don't even have him anymore. 83 overall, one more year left at $4.5 million. I'll do it. Calgary, what you got for me? Well, Mark Giordano is a great option. His contract is a little bit expensive, but I mean, at 36, he could be trade bait. We're going to take our first defender here in Mark Giordano. From the Carolina Hurricanes, there's really not much to deliberate over here. Brady Shea, definitely a guy that I would want to have, and him and Giordano are going to be, right now we got a pretty solid team. Probably need a first line center, but so far so good. So from the Blackhawks, I think I'm going to go Ryan Carpenter here. I mean, there's nothing great, right? But 78 for $1 million for 2 more years is definitely better than any of those other contracts. I definitely don't want those. I want some flexibility. I mean, Murphy or DeHaan, but that's a little expensive, a little pricey for me. I feel like I can get better value elsewhere. I might actually go Slater Cuckoo here. So we're going to actually do that. I'm going to change my mind. I'll have to re-sign him myself, but Cuckoo from the Chicago Blackhawks. Next up, from the Colorado Avalanche, I think I'm going to take Jonas Donskoy here. 3 more years at just under $4 million. He's not terrible. He's not great. He's not terrible. I think I'm going to do it. He's definitely movable. He'll put up points for us, and we got Columbus coming up next. Guys, I think I'm going to go after Mikhail Grigorenko. He's got an extension for $1.2 million for a year, 80 overall. I believe he's a sniper. Yeah, that's perfect for me. So Mikhail Grigorenko from Columbus. Welcome back to the NHL, by the way. Next up, from the Dallas Stars, we've got Denis Gurianov, who I think is just a great get. I mean, I'm going to have to sign him, but he's low elite, 79. He could turn out to be something good if he puts up points. Maybe in the first season, we'll give him some extra ice time. Let's see what Detroit's got for us. So from Detroit, I think I'm going to go Patrick Nemeth. He's a fine left-handed defender for 1 more year at $3 million. 80 overall is not bad. It's not great. But, I think that's the best we got from Detroit. Edmonton, what do you got for me? And I don't think there's too much question here. We are going to snap up another defender, 1 more year at $4.165 for Adam Larson. Solid defensive defenseman. Do they still have? Yep, they still have him as a defensive defenseman. So we're going to do that. Ethan Bear is available, though. I just saw that down there. That might actually be the play. 80 overall already. But yeah, no, screw that. I'm taking Ethan Bear. I'm not here for the win now. Adam Larson pick, $4 million. Nah, I'll take Ethan Bear. He should be cheaper than that $4 million too, and we'll sign him ourselves. The next guy we're going to take is from Florida, Mike Hoffman, currently a free agent right now. We'll sign him to his own contract, 85 at 30. He's the kind of veteran scorer that we're just going to need. We can't take all futures or all young guys, but right now the left side is looking good with Hoffman, Johansson, and DeBrusk. That's a really good left side. We need some centers, that's for sure. We only have Danton Heinen as our center. And right now, Donskoy, Grigorenko, and Gurianov. I mean, it's so far so good. I'm liking it. The next guy I'm going to snag is Trevor Lewis. He looks like a fine 4th or 3rd line center for us. Pretty good skater, average everywhere else, 2-way forward. We'll sign him to his own contract. I doubt he's going to be making $2 million, though. So from the LA Kings, we're going to select Trevor Lewis. Now we're in Minnesota, looking at their roster, and it's not even going to be a debate. You guys watch the intro. It's Eric Stahl. The Magic Man is coming back to Honolulu. He's a Honolulu legend. I can't do anything but take him. You can't pass on Eric Stahl. The next guy I'm going to take from Montreal is Joel Armia. He was originally on the Honolulu Hammerheads last year. 1 year, 2.6. That rounds out the right wingers for us. That should be solid. I mean, that's a solid right wing. Nobody's special, but you're not going to get too many special players. Nashville, coming to you next. So Mikael Granlund is going to be a free agent, but we should have a ton of cap space. And I think I want to take him. I looked at UC Saros, 80 overall. For another year at $1.5 million is not bad whatsoever. But I think we can sign Mikael Granlund, and we'll have Stahl, Granlund, Heinen, and Trevor Lewis. That's a pretty solid center core. We're going to be a decent team to start. Just got to see what defenders we can round out the team with, because we take a quick look. We have Giordano, Shea, Cuckoo, Nemeth, Bear. Not great. It's not terrible. Maybe one more middle pairing guy to really carry the load there. And other than that, I think I'm really happy with the team so far. We're going to snag ourselves a depth guy here. I think, yeah, Miles Wood, 3 years. So it's 2 more years at 2.7, 79 overall, 24. Still got that medium top 9 potential. Pretty good 2-way forward. Hopefully he'll fit for us. He's very solid. We'll snap him up there from New Jersey. Next up, we're going to get a restricted free agent from the New York Islanders, Devin Tays. I think he's really solid. He's listed as a top 4 defenseman. I think he's better than an 81. That's just my honest opinion. But we will have to re-sign him. So we're going to have to re-sign quite a few guys. But I think Devin Tays is definitely the guy I want to go after from the New York Islanders. So guys, I'm looking at the roster for the New York Rangers, and there's some names out here that are interesting. A guy like Ryan Strome, but I don't necessarily need another center of that kind of quality and caliber. And Georgiev is available. I mean, as a backup behind Ranta, I feel like Ranta and Georgiev is a really solid pair. We're going to have to re-sign Georgiev, yes, but from the New York Rangers, Georgiev just makes sense. Next up, we're going to take Anthony Duclair from the Ottawa Senators. There's really not much to debate about here. He's the younger of the two between him and Connor Brown. He made less money last year, so maybe he'll ask for less this year. I like him a lot. He's a sniper. We got a lot of goal scorers on the team. A good mix of goal scorers and two-way forwards. So coming up to the back end of the expansion draft, let's see who's still available. So guys, there's really not too many options from the Flyers here. They seem to have a really expansion draft proof roster here. A couple guys that I'm looking at. Yeah, none of these guys are really exciting me. But two guys that I was thinking about were potentially Lawton because he's 26. He's still got potential-ish. Jiver at 3 years at $7 million. I mean, maybe playing him on the first line. He's still good. Let's be honest. He's going to put up points with passing, offensive awareness in the 80s. It's just his defense that's not good. So we're going to actually go ahead and snag him there. Him, and maybe we let Hoffman walk. I'm not sure, but I'd like to bring back Hoffman. But Jiver, I think 3 years at $7 million is not terrible. We can definitely stomach it for now. So guys, I'm starting to rethink my plan for the goaltenders. I think I might take Tristan Jarry here, barring somebody else available. Nobody on the Pittsburgh Penguins screams draft me. Zach Aston Reese would not be a bad bottom depth guy, right? The rest of these guys are nothing special. Maybe Connor Sheary because he's expiring. Bukestad, like I said, there's nobody really screaming draft me. So I'm going to take Jarry, and that gives us a ton of flexibility there in the goaltender position. We could flip Ranta ourselves and roll with Jarry and Georgiev, or I could trade Georgiev or Jerry. We have options. We'll have 3 NHL caliber goaltenders, and that's never a bad thing. I think we're going to go look at our first prospect here, Dylan Gambrell. I mean, nobody else on this team is really I want to take, or do we have a spot for them? Medium top 6 at 23 kind of makes sense. So from San Jose, we're going to take Dylan Gambrell. So guys, I think I'm going to take Ivan Barbashev. I know I'm looking at Pietrangelo up there, but I just don't think we're going to be able to re-sign him. And I don't think it makes sense for our roster to go after Pietrangelo this year. As much as I'd love to get a Pietrangelo and then flip him, he's got no value. I don't feel like re-signing him to a huge extension that he's going to want. I'm trying to build this team solidly. I mean, Sammy Blaze is also available, but Ivan Barbashev's got that extra year. I guess he maybe has 2 more years, Sammy Blaze does. But Barbashev is the better of the 2 players, according to EA. So we're going to take him. They're the same age, same potential. So last few teams here, Tampa Bay, coming right at you. And I know I just said I wasn't going to re-sign Pietrangelo, but I feel like when I get an opportunity to sign a 21 medium elite Mikhail Sergachev, I got to snap on it. He's an RFA. I would be silly not to take Mikhail Sergachev here. He's that perfect middle pairing guy. He's probably going to be on our first pairing anyway. Move Brady Shea down to that second pairing, but 21 years old, 84 medium elite, please, I'm not passing on that. Even if I have to sign him to a big extension, I'm going to sign it. That's the kind of player. That's a cornerstone defenseman right there. So guys, next up, I'm going to take Dennis Malgin. I know Tyson Barrie and those guys are available, but again, I don't want to be handing out too many huge contracts. Malgin is 23.79. He can play in the AHL. He can play on the 4th line. He can grow. He's got that medium top 6. We'll re-sign him for a lot cheaper. Last 3 teams, Vancouver, Washington, Winnipeg. As exciting as it is to see Jacob Markstrom here, I think I'm going to pass on that simply because we'd have to pay him a ton of money, probably more than his $6 million that he wants, that he got in real life. But we have Ranta, Jarry, and Georgiev. I don't need that. There's really no prospects here either. Justin Bailey, maybe. Mott's just an energy guy, if anything. Beagle, I'm not taking that $3 million contract. I guess I could take a guy like Christopher Tanev here, see if we can bring him back. Maybe, maybe not. See what his contract is. We can let him walk to free agency. I've got enough sniper right wings at that lower 80 range, so Tanev makes sense. Where you can only take 1 more goalie, and I think we're okay. Maybe take a right wing. We'll see what Washington and Winnipeg have. All right, guys, this one makes just a lot of sense. He's 5 overall points higher than Lucas Johansson here. Daniel Sprong, 78, 23, play him in the AHL for 1 year, sign him to a 2 or 3 year deal. We can get a cheap, third line scorer, and if he goes off, second line scorer. But 78 overall just kind of makes sense there. And that should round out all of our needs. We'll see who Winnipeg has available, and then we'll be out of the draft. Last but not least, I think we're going to take Andrew Kopp. I like him, two-way forward, third line checking forward, it says. He can probably replace Trevor Lewis. He's got 1 year, 2.2. And there we go. Must draft a defender. Excuse me. I have to have 9 defensemen. I see. So I guess I could just take Lucas Spiza and just let him walk because he's not going to be anything for us. I don't want to bring him back. That's for sure. Niku here. I mean, Sami Niku. I'll take Sami Niku. He's got a little bit of trade value there. Why not? Kopp was fine, but there we go. So that's the expansion draft done, and I will catch up with you guys at our next step of becoming an NHL franchise. Here we go, guys, at the NHL entry draft. And yes, I was correct in assuming that guys like Stützle, Lafreniere would be available. Ponomarev is there. Lucas Raymond, Alexander Holtz, Quentin Byfield. We're going to get a good player. A guy like Lucas Raymond, I think, would be really, really good for us. Same thing with Alexander Holtz or Quentin Byfield. Lundell, Rossi. I mean, we're going to get a good player, that's for sure. I mean, I know we're picking 5 and aren't going to get a chance at Lafreniere or maybe some of these unknowns, but we're going to get a good, solid player and somebody that, is real too. So that's fun to see. If I had to pick, I would take Quentin Byfield, but Buffalo at number 1 is going to get themselves an Alexis Lafreniere. Not going to get Taylor Hall, I don't think, unless they sign him. But there we go. So we'll sim the pick. And yes, they are going to take Alexis Lafreniere. High elite, 80 overall. That's what he looks like right now. He's probably going to get boosted. I think he's an 82, but EA just hasn't released the latest roster. And medium elite, Kolesnik, an 83 overall sniper. Wow. So, I mean, I'd still rather have Lafreniere because the high elite, but dang, Detroit got a good one. All right, New York, you lost out on the lottery this time. Who are you going to get? Artem Radulov. So 78 overall, two-way forward, medium elite. Ottawa, who are you taking? Stützle, 62 medium elite. And I think that would leave us with not Ponomarev. I think I'm going to take Quentin Byfield. I'm going to pass on Raymond and Holtz because I think Quentin Byfield's just the best. Out of them, I'm not too sure. I don't have any scouting information whatsoever. They didn't give me anything. My guys did nothing. They obviously didn't put up any points, but I think I'm going to take Quentin Byfield just because I know EA had to have rated him good, right? We'll make the pick. Quentin Byfield, 74, medium elite power forward. And that's nice to see. He starts off early. We're not going to play him in the NHL just yet. He's a season away, but only 1. And now Ottawa, who are you going to take? I mean, I guess Ottawa still got Stützle, so cool. Take after me is Ponomarev, the high top 6. That's tough. I knew that was going to hurt. And it looks like Lucas Raymond was the pick, 77 medium elite sniper, but hey, something to be said about a center, right? Lucas Raymond, and then I'm sure Holtz is going to go next. 77 two-way forward, medium elite. So I did, I guess, take the wrong guy in Quentin Byfield, but we got ourselves a huge centerman, power forward, good skater, good shot, physical. You can't teach that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll see if he pays off, but let's keep rolling through this draft. So I did trade down 2 spots with the Kings. They gave me a 6th next year. I'm just trying to stockpile some picks, and I figured 2 spots is not going to hurt us that much. And I got no idea any of these guys. Seacard, I think Jan Seacard's not a bad player. I don't know anything about any of these guys, so we're just going to see how lucky I am. Kyle Cernkovich, yeah, no thanks. Lucas Reichel, Rhett Reinhardt. Lucas Reichel, I think, is pretty decent, right? I know he was projected to go in the first round. He did go in the first round in real life, but again, Jan Seacard, Jacob Perreault. Oh man, I don't want to take a medium top 9. They've got Hendrix Lapierre too. I have absolutely no idea where I'm going to go with this pick. I think I don't want to reach too far on Reichel. So can I maybe trade down to 13? Let me see what they want for the 45th overall pick. 45th overall pick. I could probably, oh my God. Thank you very much. Draft picks. Give them my 2nd. Oops, they don't want it, but I'm going to give them my second, or the king's second, and then you'll throw in like a fourth next year? Is that something that we could do? Trade accepted. Consider it a done deal. Awesome. So we did trade down there. I'm going to target Lucas Reichel next. What did I miss out on? Williams is a medium top 6. Nybeck's a medium top 6. Lapierre's a medium top 6. Pitlick's a medium top 6. Perreault's medium top 9. Seacart's top 6. And they took Seacart with our pick. So that would not have been a bad bet. But I think now we can go after Lucas Reichel. Take the German. There's also Tucker Tynan. But I am going to go after Reichel here. We're going to take him a little earlier than he should go. And he's medium top 9 at 61. So that's not great. I traded down. I took him. He's not bad, but that's certainly not a cornerstone number 2 behind Byfield. Now we are here in the 3rd round. Saul Harris, the right winger from America, I think he's fake, so that might lead me to take him. You've got the Norwegian Isaiah Prust. I mean, I have absolutely no idea anything about these players. So you know what? I'll take Saul Harris, the American right winger. He's computer generated, so you never know. Medium top 9 playmaker. In the 3rd round, that's not the end of the world. Right winger, 63 overall, 18 years old. I just wish I had some kind of information on these guys. Now in the 4th round, the simulation is actually pretty quick this year. So if you guys were worried about that, don't be, because it's pretty decent. Marvin Waugh. Let's take our first defenseman. I don't trust those guys. He's computer generated. He's left defenseman, 6'3", low top 6. That's not great. What about a medium top 6? Yeah, I'm not getting anybody good right now. Let's just put it that way. And without any information or any idea, unless I see a goalie, there's nobody I'm snapping on. No goalies there. I mean, a couple goalies. Dmitry Zubov. I feel like I know the name Zubov. Why do I know Zubov? I'm going to go for it. Take Zubov. Medium fringe starter. It's not bad for the 5th round. I mean, it's not great, but, you know, we're just trying to get prospects at every position so we maybe can make some moves in the future. Jacob Brook, Dylan Robinson, Michael Biancon. Yeah, Xavier Bouchard. I have absolutely no idea if any of these guys are going to be good or not. Phillips here, Isaac Phillips. Let's just take the Finn Sadoff. Christopher Sadoff, and he's a medium top 6 defenseman. So that's not bad. Not, you know, it's the 6th round, right? So medium top 6 defenseman is probably still worth more. And right now it doesn't matter. So we're going to take Oli Bjorgvik Holm. I just love the name. So we're going to take it. The defenseman, medium AHL top 2. So not a deep draft, but let's get into re-signing. So guys, we can see that Hoffman does want an extension. Same thing with Sergachev. So they both want to come back. And you guys know I'm going to prioritize Mikhail Sergachev. I'm going to qualify him at least so that we retain his rights, even if we can't strike a deal. 8 years. How about 7 years? 7 years at $8.5 million might be the move. Maybe I can do 8 at 8.5. I know we're going to overpay, but I'm going to get him until he's 30. Medium elite defenseman. He's already an 84. What if I did... Let's try 8x8. See if I can get him in an 8x8 for... that could be a pretty nice contract. I know it's a little bit more expensive. Hoffman can also play right wing, too. Oh, my God. Hoffman wants a lot of money. I didn't think Hoffman would want that $7 million contract. We still have 27 in cap space, but $8 million leaves us with 19. Ooh, math. Goalies, we're going to qualify both Jari and Georgiev. I think I'd like to move on from Ranta because I can sign Jari. He's younger and he's 25. I can sign him for 5 years at probably less than $4 million, probably like 3.75. And then we can move on from Antti Ranta's because we took him just in case. And 2 years at 1.425 is fine for Georgiev, which would give us about $5 million spent on our defenseman, which I think is a fine deal. I think it's fine. And then we can move on, like I said, from Ranta. Defenseman, who do we have to sign defensively? Tanev. So right now it'd be Shane Sergachev, Tanev, Tays. Oh, wait, is in the system? Didn't we take Mark Giordano? Yeah. Why is he not? We're sorting by overall, right? Oh, wow. Wait, it didn't stay at the top? Anyway, it'd be Giordano and Sergachev, Shea and Tanev, Tays, and I can actually probably release. I mean, Tays does not want a contract extension, but I will qualify him. He's 26, 81. He's already 26. He's not really going to grow. You know, that's the thing. Do I take a Tanev? Probably. Wait, hold on. Let's see what are they asking for? He's asking for about 5. Tanev is asking for 4 years at 4.4, or 3 years at 4. Yeah, 4 years at 4.4. Can I get you at a 4x4, Tanev? Because I'd be fine with that, and I can move on from Devon Tays. Or actually, you know what? I'd move on from Nemeth, and I'd probably keep Ethan Bear, who wants a contract extension. He's going to play on the bottom pairing this year. Let's give him 3 years at 1.8. If he turns out to be something, you know, by 25, we'll figure it out. You guys are just getting to hear my thought process right now. Maybe we move on from Giordano and keep Shea and Sergachev, Tanev, Tays, Nemeth. It's not bad. And Giordano's never going to have more value than he does right now. He's only going to get worse. 6.75 is not a bad contract. 2 more years. I mean, it would help us be good now, but I think giving the ice time to guys like Shea and Sergachev is going to help them grow. So I think bringing it back, both Tays, Tanev, and then Nemeth, Bear. These guys will qualify Niku, will qualify Kuku, and I will offer a contract to Tays here. Can I get you... We'll sign him in a 1-year deal. You know what? Screw it. We'll give him 1 year at the 3.875 he's asking for. Just see what he's got, see what he provides. He's probably not going to jump all that much. It gives us the flexibility we need. Forward-wise, you know what? I'm going to advance a day. Before we get too crazy, I'm going to advance a day. We've got Ethan Bear back. We got Devon Tays back. We got Georgiev back. We got Jari back. We got Sergachev. Sergachev at 8.8. 8x8 is a huge steal for us. Just wait a few years. Even after the season, he's going to be so valuable. Tanev is back. And we have $8 million in cap space available. As far as forwards, Hoffman, we may have to see Hoffman go. Right now, I hate it. That Van Riemsdyk contract is looking worse and worse now that I took it. Maybe I could trade. He's still good, though. That's the thing. He looks so good. And I can't qualify Hoffman, but I can qualify Jake DeBrusk. I'm going to qualify him. Mikael Granlund here. I do want to offer him a contract. 83 overall. That's definitely worth it. Offer him a contract because we can still go after Hoffman on the market, but I'd rather sign guys that I know I'm going to want to play now. 4 years at, would you do 4.25? 4 by 4.25 for him. DeBrusk, what do you want? 3 years, he would still be an RFA, and we'd still get to figure it out. What about 3 years at 3 years at 3.3? 3 years at 3.3. A lot of threes there. That is not a good number. Gurianov will qualify him. I don't have to sign him. Malgin will qualify. I don't have to sign these guys right away. But what do they want? If they want cheap deals, I'll bring them back. He wants a 2-way deal. We'll do it. We'll give him a 2-way deal. We'll give him a prove it deal. See if he grows or produces. Malgin, can I get you at 1 year at 1.25 maybe? I don't want to use up too much of my cap space. I'm not going to sign Byfield just yet. Simulating a day. DeBrusk does not want an extension. Granlund does not want that extension. Malgin's back. Sprong is here. Okay. So we still have $7 million. First things first, let's go after Granlund. What did I give him? 3 years at... Let me go do 3 years. 4 years at 4.5. 4 years at 4.5 is good with me for Granlund. DeBrusk, same thing for you. 4 years at 3.5. And that should be good. I think I did my math wrong there, and we might be over the cap, but we will see. DeBrusk is back. Granlund is back. There we go. And we have $1 million in cap space remaining. So that means Duclair is going to be an unrestricted free agent, and Hoffman's going to be an unrestricted free agent. I'd rather have Hoffman than Jiver, I think, because Hoffman actually wants more, and they're pretty much the same player. So I'm going to keep Jiver. I'm not going to sign Hoffman. We are going to release him. And Anthony Duclair, what does he want? He wants, again, that 3-point whatever. So we'll see if we can move on from some of these guys. But right now, the lines are looking like Stahl, Van Riemsdyk, Granlund, Johansson, DeBrusk, Donskoy, Armia, Barbashev, Grigorenko, Heinen, Malgin, Wood. That's not bad at all. I'm not upset with that. Maybe moving on from Heinen or Wood, giving Gurianov a chance to play. He wants... Okay, would you take 2 years at the $1 million I have left? Probably not, but 2 years at $1 million, give us a chance to see. Yeah, dollar value is not there. I figured as such. Trevor Lewis, we're just going to let you go, bud. I don't need you. And there we go. We still have $1 million left. We've got Ronta's $5 million we're going to move, and we can probably look to sign one more forward. So let's get up to free agency. So guys, we are here at free agency, and Taylor Hall is available. Let's see, does he want a 1 year, $8 million contract? Is that like any interest from you? 1 year, he's 9.2. Okay. Petrangelo, that's pretty close to what he got. Awfully close. So not too bad there. Other guys available, but yeah, there we go. So I think we're going to rock this season with Jari and Georgiev. But let's go ahead and see, find a trade here. See what people would give us for Antti Ranta. No trades found, and I have to assume that's because we don't have cap space. So if I take a quick glance here and see what teams would give us for Mark Giordano. That is a player apparently teams would like to get from us, and it looks like we're getting only prospects back. I'd like to turn it into, well, it would turn it into cap space. 2 seconds. Would a team like Boston, that's not in their conference. Would they give us a first for Giordano? Because I would take a first round pick for Mark Giordano. Now, I don't think I'm going to get anybody too great, but a first round pick and maybe a skaters matching the block. Who do they want to get rid of? A top 6 forward. They were giving us Frederick or Sudarenka, Studnicka, Jack Studnicka. There we go. We'll see if that is something that they're interested in. It's too far off. Yeah, so let's drop Studnicka down to a guy like Zaboral. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, he's a defenseman, 73. He's a prospect. Yeah, Frederick's too much value. Senyshyn is probably not going to be anything. I mean, they're pretty darn close, those two, but we'll try it. Insufficient at all. So we're probably not going to get their prospects that they want. Draft picks. Let's see if we can do like maybe next year's second. A first this year and next year's second for Giordano. Yeah, it's too far off. I didn't think I was going to get that. What about a first and a third? See if we can get that, a third next year. Trade rejected. Sweeten the value just a touch. So instead of giving up picks, let's go ahead and see if we can snag their fourth this year. First and a fourth for Mark Giordano. Trade accepted. There we go. So we do shed some cap space there from Mark Giordano. I'm fine with that. Let's go ahead and get into the draft picks now. Ours has so much value. Jesus, that is a ridiculous amount of value. Nobody even is considering trading for it right now. But goalies, is anybody looking at Antti Ranta now? No trades found. So I'm sure I could find my own deal, which I think I will go do right now. So guys, while I was looking for an Antti Ranta trade, I decided to throw Dylan Cousins up there and see what Buffalo would be willing to do. And Niku, who's an RFA who I don't have signed, and Gambrel, who would easily be replaced by a Dylan Cousins in the system, and a third. We're upgrading Gambrel. We're getting rid of a player that I wasn't going to have the cap space or want to re-sign. I guess I have the cap space now. And a third. We're going to get a high top 6 forward in Dylan Cousins. Power forward, another guy that maybe him and Byfield in the future are our centers, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. Done deal from Buffalo, and we can go regain some now just straight up picks for Antti Ranta. I think I'm going to stay here with Buffalo, though, with Antti Ranta, because Buffalo is in need of a goalie. They don't have a goalie, and it would just make too much sense for Buffalo not to take a guy. They want to give up their second. I think it makes a lot of sense to send Ranta to Buffalo. We get a second back in the deal. So this one has logic. The Cousins trade doesn't have logic. So get ready for that this year, boys, because I'm going to have some logic, and then I'm going to have ones that I just can't turn down. So a second for Antti Ranta, I think, is fine with me. Propose the trade. It doesn't quite far off, huh? Well, alrighty then. I don't have a third next year. Where is my third next year? Anyway, skaters matching the block. They want Sprong, who I'm not going to give up. Can I throw you guys a Harris. I mean, wow, this kid's got more value than Reichel. Interesting. So Saul Harris. Please throw Saul Harris in there, and trade accepted. Beautiful. So we got rid of Ranta and his cap hit for a second, and now we have a solid 10 mil in cap space. If we take a look at what the team will look like going into the season, quickly look at overalls. It'll be Stahl, Van Riemsdyk, and Granlund, Marcus Johansson, DeBrusk, and probably Donskoy, because Johansson can play center. It's not ideal. So we might go out and sign a second line center to put between Johansson and DeBrusk. Then we've got Donskoy, Barbashev, Heinen, Grigorenko, Malgin, and probably going to re-sign Gurianov. So a guy like Miles Wood, maybe I could move on from him. Gurianov, what do they say? He's a third line scoring forward. Miles Wood is a third line checking forward. So we'll see what teams will give us for Miles Wood. So guys, I'm going to try and flip Wood to Pittsburgh. They wanted him. I didn't want the guy they gave me. They wanted to give me some low top 9 and a 7th. It's woefully insufficient, so it really doesn't feel like we're going to get much for him, but maybe a 5th instead of a 7th. Trade accepted. That's fine with me. We now have 13 million in cap space to play around with. So let's go sign ourselves a second line center. Defensively, I'm happy with how we look. We still got to figure out what we're going to do with Cuckoo. I don't know if I want to bring him back because we got Sergachev and Shea, which I'm very happy with because Sergachev is going to blossom into something beautiful this season. And then we have Tanev and Taze, and then Bear and Nemeth. So I find that solid. Bear is hopefully going to do something good for us. And then Slater Cuckoo is an RFA. Don't know if I want to bring him back or not. We'll see if he signs the qualifying offer, which he just might. But forward-wise, definitely get a second-line center, and all of a sudden, this team is looking pretty decent. So, guys, I was looking at the free agent market for a second-line center. I think I found one. Cirelli says on the market that he only wants 3 years at 1.8. Yes, he's only an 81, but he's high top 9. And, you know, if he puts up a good season on the second line, I think it's great. He's already an 81. At worst, he's a third-line center. Stahl might drop off, and then we got Byfield. So he's a perfect stopgap guy that can transition into a lower role when Byfield or Cousins are ready. And Malgin's not bad, but he's not quite there yet. So I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick. Malgin, medium top 6 depth forward. He's 23. Cirelli is 22, and he's already better. Third line scoring forward. He's played in the NHL. They're pretty comparable players, but I think I'd rather go after Anthony Cirelli. Malgin, it fills kind of a need. They'll be able to roster a player on a cheap 1-year deal. He's not too far off from Cirelli, but we're banking on the upside of Cirelli more so than Malgin. So we're going to go after Anthony Cirelli with this deal. Trade accepted. And let's go ahead and re-sign Anthony Cirelli. All right, guys, I'm going to keep stockpiling those 4th-round draft picks. Slater Cuckoo is going to go to Nashville. It kind of makes sense. Nashville looking for a cheap defenseman. They like their defenseman there. Picks aren't getting any better anywhere else. He's not a real threat, and I don't want to use him really, so he's going to head on his way to Nashville. I did offer a contract to both Cirelli and Gurianov. So we'll advance a couple days here, see what they say. I've got no desire to really sign anybody in free agent. Okay, I did try and get him 2 years at 2.25, which was a little bit less than what he wanted. But Cirelli is extremely happy. I signed him for 4 years at 1.9. I think that's great, even if he's a third-line center, period. Right? So less than $2 million for a center who's going to play in our middle 6 for the next 4 years. I'm all about that contract. And I guess Gurianov still wants a 1-year prove-it deal, maybe a kind of bridge deal, I guess. But I don't know why we still have the rights to... Yeah, but I tried to do the 2 years, so we'll do the 1 year at 1.375 for Gurianov. Probably try and play him in the NHL on the third line if I can. I mean, we'll see what the lines look like in a minute. But we'll advance a day here, see what he says, and right today he should respond. Nope, the 8th. Gurianov is coming to Honolulu, boys, so no free agency moves really for us, just some trades. We have cap space. Like, cap space is not really an issue for us. We could go after a big signing if we want. We still have $10 million, but I don't want to use that $10 million right away. I do want to see where a guy like Taylor Hall did sign. We've got, so TJ Brody went to Detroit, and is Taylor Hall still a free agent? Oh, Pietrangelo goes to Vancouver. Interesting. Taylor Hall is still a free agent. Am I just missing it, or is Taylor Hall still a free agent? He's still a free agent, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's gone after him. We've got $10 million in cap space. We have all the cap space in the world to sign him. Nobody is interested in Taylor Hall, 89 overall, first line winger, a cornerstone to build our franchise around. 6 years at, can I get you down to $8.5 million? What about 7 years, 8.5? They get him up till he's 35. 7 by 8.5 is pretty good for a guy like Taylor Hall. 89 overall, elite left winger. 8.5 for 7. If you get him up until he's 35, let's do 6 years at 8.5. But he's considering his options, boys. It could be one ridiculous first season. Gurianov for Senyshyn. I'm going to say no to that deal. I like Gurianov, and I think he'll be good for us. Here on the 10th, 11th, come on. Taylor Hall's decision is taking forever, and Taylor Hall has come to Honolulu, boys. We got ourselves a first-line winger to build around. He likes the fact that he can take a leadership role on his team based on his skills, meaning he'll be the #1 player. Let's get into those lines because I know you guys are ready for it. Here we go, guys. We are at the start of next season. Let's take a look at who they have as the captain. It's going to be Taylor Hall, Eric Stahl, and instead of Jiver, let's give it to... I don't want to give it to Sergachev right away. You know what? That's fine. We can, if Van Riemsdyk moves, we can move it. But we got Hall, Stahl, and Van Riemsdyk as our captains. Editing the lines. Let's take a look at what they've got for us. And it's no, thank you, head coach. Don't really care about you. They got James Van Riemsdyk. No, we're gonna do Hall, Stahl, DeBrusk, which I don't mind. DeBrusk gets a chance to really show that he's worth it. He's a second line forward, medium top 6. He could really grow playing alongside Stahl and Hall. James Van Riemsdyk with Mikael Granlund and Jonas Donskoy. I think I'm going to change that up and go ahead and move Cirelli as that second line center. I mean, I could also have Marcus Johansson be that second line center. And then all of a sudden, we've got Jonas Donskoy, Cirelli, Grigorenko, Armia, Heinen, Barbashev. You know what? I'm liking these lines. Hall, Stahl, DeBrusk, Van Riemsdyk, Johansson, Granlund, Donskoy, Cirelli, Grigorenko, Barbashev, Heinen, Armia. Our 4 lines I can get behind in our first season. Defensively, I think I want to play Shea with Sergachev, which is a +3, which is nice. Tanev and Ethan Bear. I like the fact that Ethan Bear is on that second pairing. And then Devin Tays and Patrick Nemeth, because I want Bear to grow more than I think Devin Tays can grow. Devin Tays is fine. He's playing with Nemeth. Do we have only... Okay, we have our 2 right shot defensemen right there. Not going to do that. Definitely not. And not going to do that either. These guys are so close. If one of them was a righty, we'd probably get a +5. And then in goal, we've got Jari and Georgiev. Scratch, we've got Gurianov and Grant. You know what? Maybe Gurianov comes in for Ivan Barbashev. Or for Joel Armia. We're going to put in Gurianov down there. And then maybe move Mikhail Grigorenko to that 4th line. Because I do want Gurianov to get some experience. Jonas Donskoy is a right winger there. So Gurianov, Cirelli, Donskoy, Grigorenko, Heinen, Barbashev. I like it, guys. These lines are fantastic in my mind. I say fantastic. I mean, for a start, right? Maybe DeBrusk. Well, we can move Granlund up there, somebody up there if things go wrong this season. We got 2 pure left wings here. James Van Riemsdyk, is only signed for 3 more years at $7 million. And, put him on the second line. He's going to score goals next to Johansson. Mikael Granlund is a playmaker. Johansson's a playmaker. These guys are great at passing, not necessarily shooting. And Jiver can bury a lot of goals. So we have a top 6 that I'm happy with. Defensively, we're hoping that Sergachev grows. Brady Shea, also super solid at 26, 84. Maybe he grows a point or 2, maybe an 85, 86 by the end of the season. Tanev and Ethan Bear is a good pairing in my mind. Listen, guys, I'm super happy with it. But if you are happy too, make sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.